All right, we are on the mission 5. So, um, ah, this always, I need to make a note. I say this every time I start a new mission. I got to make a note, fix the mod so it does this properly. But it also took me 10 seconds. So it's not so painful that I feel like I have to make a change. So, this is what we can see from the staging area. This is where our line of sight has gone. We've specified we want to get up here, and there's our, ultimately all we need is the objective and secondary, the primary and secondary objectives. That's victory in this mission. The Germans are green, delay defense, so there's, I mean, they're pretty pitiful in terms of their fragility. Let's see. Yeah, delay defense in green. Now we got C's, and then A, or C, B, A, B. And if we look at their packages, C's are going to be 1 through 4, which are sniper, incoming, machine gun nest, and outpost, which is a squad in a foxhole. The B's can be any of the above, so it adds a stronghold and a maneuvering squad. And then the A's will be everything except the sniper. Sniper is a 30% chance. Map can extend, because if you look here, column 1, it has left front. Column 4 has right front, so the map can extend. Pretty sure the rules are, we assume this is level 1 terrain for placement when we don't know what it is. So, as an example, if we were here and placing max line of sight, we, I believe, assume that we cannot. I'm going to verify that real quick. I don't know if this is definitive, but this is what I was thinking. This 5.2.2, unless the elevation levels are known in advance, enemy units on face-down terrain cards are assumed to be at level 1. I don't think there's anything over here in the placement. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see really anything on the placement about unrevealed cards. So, yeah. I'm just going to go with the assume it's at 1-1. Yep. So, now I've placed squad or platoon 1 here. I've already separated an assault team. Got my artillery with his radio. I chose to do the radio instead of this Jeep. I can have this Jeep and he can race around, but the map seems so small and we're inching our way forward. It just feels like driving the Jeep, he's going to get himself exposed and in trouble faster that way than if he just can infiltrate and get under cover. That is, artillery FO is attached to platoon 1. Mortar is attached to platoon 2. I do have a assault team with a radio, so we can talk to him. Everybody can talk to him, except I'll point out the XO, because the XO does not have one of those radios. The XO has the battalion TACnet radio. These are radios now, so undercover we don't speak to each other. Third platoon is kind of out here in reserve, and I don't plan to go into these open fields. There's no benefit to, I mean, there's a couple of experience benefits to getting these open, but getting the open field doesn't help us. Victory is solely based on those primary objectives. So let's give this a whirl. We are starting. It's offensive, so it's going to be weird to get out of that defensive mission mindset. But no friendly HQ this time, so this is directly to our CO impulse. So he gets 3. We're at no contact, 4. He's a veteran, so he has 5. I think he's just going to get all of these guys loaded up. Since they're all veterans, let's get them loaded up with some commands. Ooh, that's a quick reshuffle. So first platoon is 5. That's actually 7 ultimately. Now, first platoon, he's got this unit here. He is going to tell this unit to move here. So that was 1. And honestly, I think that's it. I don't really want to do much else. I don't know much else yet, so second platoon, not as good. He's got 4. He is going to tell this unit to move up here. That unit has a radio, so we can also tell, oops, this guy's exposed. He has a radio. We can tell that unit to go under cover or to look for cover. So 1, 2, 3. We'll exhort 4. So we moved, cover, exhort. We're down to 1. Third platoon, 5. All right. So he has 7, and he's doing absolutely nothing. This guy cannot be told anything else, unfortunately, by anybody. I'll point out here, you're allowed to do an order once per, well, he can be told to do things. He cannot be told to look for cover again, because you're allowed once per impulse, and this platoon HQ/CO staff impulse is 1 impulse. I might have been better off leaving 1 unit not activated, because then they have a different impulse and could tell them to do something. All right, the XO gets 4. He's up to 6. I tell you what he is going to do, though. No, he can't communicate with him, but the first sergeant can. He gets 4, so that's up to 6. He's going to use 1 and tell him to pop his smoke. He can tell him to do that. So that is everybody. So now we have general initiative, and we have 4. Well, we're going to struggle. I know I can use 3. He's going to look for cover again. So 1, 2, 3. He failed. This guy is going to look for cover. 1, 2, 3. He found cover. He is also, though, going to pop his smoke. That is not what I wanted. So he's undercover. This guy never got undercover. And I don't think we want to do anything else. So we whip through this turn because it is on their enemy activity, no HQ, plus they have no units. No capture, no retreat, no AT. Straight down, no fire mission, so straight down to potential contact. We have 2 Cs. Cs are 4 draws. So second one, so we're drawing for the card that's not undercover. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing. That's beautiful. And then this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do have contact. 5. Potential contact C. 5 is 2. That is incoming. Spotter and cover. Now, notice under German packages, it's actually the upper right paragraph. Spotter gets 1 draw for their second and third missions. So we do have incoming on this card. It said -3. Yep. Spotter is not spotted. He's at max line of sight, which is gonna probably, it's gonna be 1. It's gonna be one of these 2 cards. That spotter is in cover. It doesn't tell us if it's a mortar or, I don't know how that's, assume it's a mortar. It just says spotter. He has 2 more fire missions. He only gets 1 draw. Now we have to figure out where he is. So this is column 1. So there's a 1 through 5. We drew a 2. 1 through 5, 2 is direct front. So this guy is here. And unspotted. Really important. We look here, spotter, not spotted. In fact, only 1 German unit is spotted. Now, I do have some spotted auto spot markers. So we may take a chance. Well, we can get here and look for them. All right. No pinned recovery, so we're straight to the incoming. There's only, oh, we are now at engaged. Or I'm sorry, contact. Only 1 volume of fire. So we are -3, -4, -6 because of the exposed. The smoke is irrelevant on incoming. So +2, +1. So when it's all said and done, we are at a -3, which is a hit, not a surprise. He is line. That is a casualty. That is a quick casualty. Now what stinks is that means they're going to target here. Now, I can place a target marker, and I'm going to. Because if we move, actually I probably will try to move probably will try to get an assault team in there. Keep them firing here, and that way we can go here. So that's a rough start, but that's it. Turn 1, clean her up. Turn 2, HQ event. We do not have one. Our CO gets 5, so he's up to 6 because of veteran. We are no longer no contact, so he doesn't get that. Definitely going to activate the first platoon, or the second platoon, I'm sorry. And I think, and the first sergeant, 1, 2. And he's got this radio. It's going to tell that guy to try to spot. So in the CO phase, he can try to spot. And I will point out the CO phase is an impulse, then the staff is an impulse. So I can have a couple of people try to spot here. He's going to get this guy to try to spot. Now he's line, and that guy is a sniper undercover. So we're down to, we only get 1. I mean, when we're done, all the modifiers, it goes to 1. 1 is the minimum spotting. I think that's actually in the rule book, or in this errata. There is no minimum draw for any attempt except spotting. If experience markers reduce the draw to 0, the action is not possible. Oh. Yep, except for spotting. The minimum draw for spotting is 1, is what, it doesn't say that, but where's the spot? Yeah. Almost positive the minimum is 1 there, but it didn't say that, but I'm going to go look. So, in order to spot the enemy. Minimum, yeah. Base draw is 2, minimum is 1. Be nice to have that on this card, on this spotting attempt. So I do get 1 draw. Fails. I'm going to exhort. Failed. So we had 6. We spent 4. 2 activations. Now, I got 2 other units. Well, the first sergeant and then one of these unactivated are going to be able to... Actually, what's interesting is if you look at the impulses, again, orders are per impulse. I can ask that guy to spot in the CO impulse. I can ask him to spot once in the platoon HQ CO staff impulse. I can ask him to watch once, well, the CO is already initiative, but in the platoon initiative impulse, once in the CO staff impulse, and once in general impulse. So this guy can get more than 1 look. So we will go second platoon is activated. He gets 3, 4 total, so he's up to 5. So that's the second platoon. The second platoon is going to have second platoon. One of them is going to be to tell this guy to move forward. One is going to tell this guy to move. That's 2. 3, they're exposed. So then I'm going to tell the veteran unit. Now the veteran unit, let's just take a quick peek. Veteran is +1. Undercover -1. sniper, or no, FO, I mean. So it was +1, -1, -1, and then he's green +1. So he's basically gets 2 draws, these veteran units do. So I use 3. 1, 2, 3. You know, I'm only going to do 2. I'm going to do, he's not going to move. So we're going to be sitting at, we've spent 2 of our 5. He is going to look, so he gets 2. 1, 2. Exhort, 3. So spent 2 more. So of the 5, 2, and then 2, and then 2. He's down to 1. But we remove the spotted marker, and we are going to open fire on that guy. Oops, and we actually can see that terrain now. He's in a forest. All right, that's good. Thinking of actually moving my unit onto that card. Enemy spotter. Pinned. Good with no fire missions. I mean, he's going to try to call in fire. And his priority is going to be where his target is. I am going to tell this guy attempt to infiltrate there. You know, I'm not going to have this guy do it. He's going to save his 1. First sergeant can't do it. But I could get the first platoon to tell that guy to do it on the radio. All right, first sergeant, 2, so 3, so he's up to 8. Oh, first sergeant can't do that because he'd have to move into this card. First sergeant is going to take 2, 1, turn it into a lat, and then, so that's 1, and then he's going to tell it to infiltrate up here. So, and he's going to have smoke. When he pulls himself from there, he's going to have smoke. He's going to try to infiltrate. He's line. He gets 2. So 1, 2. He will exhort him to do that. 3. So he successfully infiltrated to the cover. So we just spent 3 from the first sergeant. 1, 2, 3. I think we are done. Now, why did I do that? That's going to cause this guy to lay down fire because his number 1 priority is that marker. Oops, this marker was gone. All right. That was the first sergeant. First platoon. First platoon can radio this unit. He gets nothing. +1 for being veteran. So he gets 1. He's up to 7. He is going to radio that unit. And he is going to tell him to try to infiltrate into that card. So 2 tries. 1, 2. He infiltrated successfully into that card. We are going to tell him to try to grenade that card. 1, 2. Exhort, 3. Failed. So we have a grenade miss on this card. Okay. I don't believe that guy gets to fire back. He doesn't have a volume of fire. So, so that was 1, 2, 3 for the first platoon. 1, 2, 3 for the first platoon. Third platoon gets 2. So he gets 3 ultimately. So he's at 10. I could look for cover, but right now, if I successfully find it, it hurts me more than it helps me. So I'm going to wait. He's just going to lose that unit. XO gets 1. He can't talk to anybody. Well, yeah, he can talk to these guys. All right. So he's saving all of his. General initiative, 2. Well, they are allowed to attempt to grenade again. It's a different impulse. So I think I'm going to do that again. 1, 2. Nope. And then these guys are going to look for cover. Actually, we're going to have the second platoon look for cover. So he gets 4 draws because he's a veteran. 1. Okay, he found it. So he is now under cover. Automatic fires there. These guys, no fire here right now. And we are currently engaged because there are 2 cards with volume of fire. Actually, we're heavily engaged because 2 cards with volume of fire and 1 card with units of both sides spotted. Notice heavily engaged says at least 1 card has both a volume of fire with both enemy and friendly. So the interesting thing is, oh, actually, shoot. You know what? I'm taking that cover away. I am taking that cover away. This guy is going to cease fire. There's no reason to be firing on that card. I don't want to be firing on that card. So he grenade, did not succeed. We didn't try cover. We ceased fire as our second. That's what we're going to do for that. We still have a volume of fire here. We have a volume of fire here. I doubt he gets 1 draw, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to I'm going to leave the. I don't remember what they had. I'm going to shuffle up the. Let's just. Yeah. They did not get the. I'm not going to. Since I've seen them, I'm just going to reshuffle because we'll see for their cards. All right. So turn 2 now. We're done with general initiative. Do they have an HQ event? They do. Well, maybe I wish I hadn't reshuffled. Dang it. A 1. Evacuate all casualties. There are none. Non-U.S. occupied cards. So that was meaningless. This is the only unit. He is. Where is that? Enemy spotter activity. Spotters will continue to notice the spotters will continue to call for fire according to the priorities above, regardless of the proximity of opposing units. So, not pinned, good order with no fire missions. Nope, good order with fire missions. Yep, he's got 2 left. Priority is going to be, has to be occupied, but card with the spotter's target market. It's this card right here, which is why I brought him in. According to this here, the spotters get 1 draw for their second and third missions. So 1 draw, nothing. So he did not lay down fire. He still has 2 missions. There is automatic fire here. It's just not from here. All right. So that's their turn. No capture, no retreat, no AT, fire mission update. This disappears. Potential contact. We have potential contact here. That is a B. We are back to just engaged, or just contact, because there's only 1 card with a volume of fire. So that is a B under engaged. No, under contact is 5 draws. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we do have number 8 under B. Row 2. So notice B has 2 row 2s. B, row 2, an 8 is package 5, a strong point. 2 squads plus a leader in foxholes. Place the squads in different cards. So I'm assuming I will just randomly choose which of the two. So they're going to be in foxholes. They're going to be 2 squads. So he's automatic. So what kind of ammo do they start with? 4 ammo. All right. I'm going to draw for which side gets the, so the number 1, the leader is going to be here. All right, so these are the 2 packages we're going to place, and it says they are on different cards, right? And they're not spotted. 2 squads plus leaders, placing a VOF, not spotted. They will be firing on this card. So they're firing at their FO. So this is column 1, 1 through 5. First one, 3. That is direct front. Oh, by the way, we get to reveal that. Can't see through that right now. We get to reveal that. Can't see through that right now. So this is all we can see. Yep. All right. If we get here, we can see all the way to the primary objective. So this guy was direct front. Not spotted. Let's see. Yep. Now, we can't put another one on that card because they have to be, it says different cards. So if we look at column 1, 2 and 3 are gone. So it's 1 is left front, 4 or 2, basically 2 cards are the right front. I'm going to do a 1 through 3. 1 is the left front, 2 or 3 is the right front. And that is 3. So it's going to be here. Also unspotted. So we do have units in the attack position. He also is firing. So they have automatic fire. And they have crossfire. And we have a grenade miss. This fire is affecting both units. All right. Interesting. That's our potential contact B. We now are heavily engaged. All right. No pinned recovery occurring, so we're going to see what happens. This is, their unit is +2, +3, and then effectively automatic crossfire grenade -3. So that is going to end up being a 0 for that unit, which he is pinned. All right. My unit's not quite as lucky. Well, I guess he's basically going to be 1 different. He's +2, but then -3. So he is a -1. Also pinned. Wow, okay. I feel like that was a pretty good result for that. All right. They used ammo. They're down to 3. And we are going to clean up. We're only 30 minutes in, so let's do one more turn. Turn 3. We'll actually make a note of that. We're turn 3. So, HQ event. We do have an HQ event. All right, friendly HQ events. Turn 3. Number 4. Battalion commander checking in. Place the battalion commander on the CO. Remains on the map until an R1 of 2 is drawn each battalion impulse. Then returns to his HQ and is activated via the battalion attack net. I always have to look at this to figure out, but I think he just gets 6. It didn't tell us anything about the rule, right? Yeah, it did not. I also am assuming I don't check to see if he leaves this turn. Oh, maybe that's incorrect. It just doesn't make sense that he'd show up and leave without doing anything. So notice, battalion impulse. Unless otherwise specified, the battalion starts off map. If the battalion, if the battalion is on map, automatically give the most senior HQ the maximum number of allowable commands. 6 for daytime, 4 for night. The unit may expend these. You cannot save them. So, he is, by the way, assumed to have a radio. The battalion TACnet radio. I guess, actually, if I read that, well, so he's going to activate the CO as one of his missions. There is no tracking of that. I'll use the general initiative to track these. So, I don't really use that general initiative marker as much as I thought I would. Now, he can tell other units to do things. But very few, because all he has is that radio, the battalion TACnet radio. Should he tell anybody to do anything? I just feel like there's not a lot to do. I think he's just going to stick with that. So the CO draws 3, 4 ultimately, so he's up to 6. He will definitely activate the second and the first. One, two. He is going to tell this guy to try to unpin. 1, 3 draws because the CO is giving the order. 1, 2, 3. He'll exhort 4, so he failed. And that is all he's going to do. First platoon. He draws 1, so he gets 2. He's up to 6. That guy is now pinned. He's not going to call for fire this turn. So the first platoon is going to tell that unit. Oh, you know one thing I didn't place now that I think about it? I forgot to place my mortar. I'm going to just place him with the third for now. Attach him to the third. I got him marked as the second, so we'll put him over here with the second. Forgot about the mortar completely. Like the idea of getting the mortar there a lot. So the first platoon is going to tell that guy to move. He's exposed. I'm not worried about fire because that guy's pinned. It's going to tell the artillery to move. That's 2. It's going to tell this guy to move. 3. It's going to move himself. 4. And he's going to tell this guy to move here. 5. These guys are now 3 units in that cover. And that guy is out of the cover. He used 5 of his 6. Second platoon gets 2, so 3 total. So he has 4. Well, I think they do need to look for cover. So he's going to tell that unit to look for cover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He exhorted. Exposed. Cover. He is going to... He can't call that guy. He is going to call this guy and tell him to try to unpin. 1, 2, 3. He unpinned. He is going to tell this guy to spot, attempt to spot. We'll go with the one with the leader. So he 2 commands to find cover, the cover and then the exhort. 3 to rally, 4 to spot. So he's basically drawing, I think, 1, because he's lined. So they, oh, wait a minute, actually. These guys are not. Maybe we have them look for that guy. He's automatic. Yeah, we're going to have them look at that guy. He is, I'm line. They're undercover -1, but they're green +1, and they're automatic +1. So we get 3 draws here. So 1, 2, 3. So this guy is now spotted. And that is all 4 of the seconds. Now what's interesting, he has that radio. We can actually get the 3rd platoon can talk to him and the 1st sergeant in these phases. So next, 3rd platoon gets 2. Ultimately 3, so he's up to 12. So the 3rd platoon is going to call that guy. Oh, wait a second. Do we have to be in line of sight? I may have been doing something wrong here. Now that these radios, I think they need to be in line of sight. Dang it. I'm not going to go back, but I'm also not going to, because the 2nd platoon was here, and it is line of sight. Early radios. Only line of sight. So, the 3rd cannot. We don't have line of sight to that guy. So the 3rd cannot give him orders. So I'm just saving my 9. The XO moves up to 8. First sergeant has 6. Now the first sergeant is going to move here. Exposed. Now he's line of sight. Going to tell him to spot there. So that unit is green. I'm line, but he's undercover and he's green. So he's basically drawing 2. I can exhort. So the first sergeant spent 1 to move, 2 to spot, and if we have to exhort, we'll do 1 more. 1, 2, exhort, 3. So that failed. He is then going to tell the 2nd to go undercover. So that's that. And then he is going to look for his own cover. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's all he's going to do. All right. General initiative. We get 2. He's going to look for cover. 1, 2, 3. Did not find it. He is going to moving and looking for cover doesn't help. He's going to try to spot. He gets 2 draws. 1, 1, 2. Failed. Man, that guy's been tough to find. So now, do they have an HQ event? They do. Number 7. Turn 3. Machine gun. All LMGs in play receive 4 more ammo. Well, I don't have an LMG in play. I've got those, but no LMGs. So, right, there is, yep, there's an LMG in a machine gun. So that is meaningless. Now, they enemy activity check. They have 3. I'm going to actually record it, make it easier to track. 3 cards. So number 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's this guy. He is, their FO is pinned on the same card, undercover. No leader. 1 through 5. A 3. Pinned on the same card, undercover. That is an attempt to rally. 1 draw. He did rally. So he is no longer pinned. Wow. All right. We have 2 of their units. So the first one. So it's this up here. So he is delayed defense. He is not under fire, but has a valid target. 1 through 3. That is a 2. Not under fire, has a valid target. A 2 is no action. So this one does nothing. And then this one, he is the same thing. So on a 3, so he is a 3. He is going to attempt to concentrate fire. And he can because he's got enough ammo. So 1 draw, fails to concentrate fire. All right. That is their stuff. No capture. No retreat. No AT. No fire mission updates. PC, we do have 1. We are heavily engaged right now. Is that right? No, we're not heavily engaged. Well, that's annoying. We are just contact. 2 or more occupied cards are under volume of fire. That is not the case. Needed to get a unit fire on those guys. So we are facing, with this B, 5 draws. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! I feel like I dodged a bullet. That may have been a mistake on my part. So, all right. No pinned recovery, I don't believe. Nope. So, this is the only card where we have anything going on. It's automatic fire with crossfire. So, their unit is +1, +3, -2. So, it's a +1. Pinned again. I am at a 0. That is a hit. He is line. He is a casualty. That really blows. Littered. Now, what I will point out here is the in the cleanup phase, which is where we are now, he used ammo. So he's down to 2. But in the cleanup phase, enemies firing at cards without valid targets shift or cease fire. So I'm going to clean up, but then there's no valid target here anymore. This guy is gone. He's a casualty. These guys are going to shift their fire here. So now this poor guy is under assault. Now, we can get a unit here. We can, in fact, I can probably try to get my artillery FO up here and lay down fire and spot and see if we can't get those guys bombarded, which is what I'm going to do. Would also love to pick up that radio. Oh, I gotta remember, he 1 out of 2, the radio's damaged. So 1, it's damaged out of 2. So that radio is actually gone. It was damaged. Just pop it over here. I usually forget that. I'm as bad at that as I am phone lines. So we're taking some casualties, which is really a bummer. Start to lay down evacuation, the casualty collection points with my first sergeant and so forth. So that's it. That is turn 4, which we got it marked already. So with that, I'm going to record that it's turn 4, but we are going to stop here. We'll pick the game back up. Mission 5, partway up the map. We really only have 2 more to go, but we'll see what we run into. Thanks for watching.